This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black business and related news, strategy, and events.
I have an exciting guest in front of me, the executive director of the Legacy of Hope Foundation, Miss Teresa Lasiter. Now, Teresa Lasiter is the executive director of the Legacy of Hope Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that clothes, feeds, educates, and empowers. Teresa is also a wife, mother, grandmother, pastor, author, speaker, and community leader. And since she started the Legacy of Hope, we can add entrepreneur to that list. Teresa Lasiter, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you for being here today. So let's start from the top. What is the Legacy of Hope Foundation, and why do we, the audience, need to know about it?
The Legacy of Hope Foundation is a nonprofit organization. We are located in Newport News, but we service the Hampton Roads area. So we do clothe, feed, educate, and we do empower our community, bringing them to a place of self-sufficiency. And this was a desperate need that we didn't even realize. Initially, my aunt had passed away about 3 years ago. She left an abundance of clothing and non-perishable food, and we started just giving it away. And what we found is there were a lot of people in need. We started in October 2020, which was right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so that need continued, and so we continued the work, and we birthed a nonprofit from there.
Wow, so you say clothe, feed, educate, and empower. So we're going to break those down individually. Okay. Let's start down with clothe. How do you clothe the community, and is there a particular community that you're clothing? Is this like single mothers? Is this children? Is this a particular? Is this like entire families? Can you break that down and give us a clearer vision?
Certainly. So Geraldine's Closet started again with my aunt's clothes. She had like 1,000 pieces of clothing. Her name was Geraldine, so we named it Geraldine's Closet. So we give people opportunity to come in every week. Every Wednesday, they can come in between 3 and 5, and they can receive free clothing. And that's the family. We found that most of it is mothers and children. They can come in and it's free of charge to them. They can pick out what they need, and also we have people that actually donate to the closet as well. So it's kind of a balance for us. But what we found is they can take the money that they were going to use for clothing and put it towards some other bills, so that helps them economically.
Yeah, that's hugely important. And where is Geraldine's Closet?
So we're located in Newport News. We're at 239 Buxton Avenue in the city of Newport News. We do service the whole Hampton Roads area. Most of our people that come in is from Newport News, but then we have serviced Chesapeake, Norfolk, Williamsburg. So people come from all over. They're hearing more about it, so they're coming in, which is great.
So do people have to make an appointment at Geraldine's Closet, or do they just walk in during open hours? How does that work?
They walk in during the open hours, which is, again, Wednesdays from 3 to 5. In 2024, we're actually expanding the hours from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wow. From 2 to 5, we do have a lot of people that just come in, and we do have also like social workers and counselors that come in and bring their clients in as well. So it's a community store, I would say, for us.
That already is amazing work before we even get into these other facets of the nonprofit. That's incredible work. So, okay, let's go into feed. In what way are you feeding the community? Do you have like community shelves, or do you do dinners? How does that look?
A little bit of all of that. We started out, again, my aunt had an abundance of canned goods, so we really just started out doing canned goods. So we named the program We Can Do Good. What we found from that is that people also needed other things, and so we incorporated our Thanksgiving drive. So during Thanksgiving, we give out boxes to families that would include the turkey and all the fixing that they can go home and prepare for themselves. And so what we found in that is it really kind of built the self-esteem in families, because a lot of them spoke about if they didn't have that they wouldn't even have a Thanksgiving dinner. So that was kind of huge for us and kind of inspired us to begin to add meat meat to our program as well. So again, the same thing with Geraldine's Closet. They can come in on Wednesdays in 2023 and the expanded hours in 2024 between the 3 and 5 on Wednesdays, and they can come in and get food for their families. So we just give them a box of food. They can go home and prepare it for themselves. The other part of that is we connected with another organization where through our church, but we provide the space for the food, feeding homeless community. So we feed about 80 homeless people cooked food once a month.
Wow, that's incredible. And that's done in your church. What's the name of that church?
Our church is Hope Manifested Ministries.
Gotcha.
And so it is located in the Legacy of Hope building. So both businesses, organizations are located in the same building.
Wow, that's incredible. You've really consolidated so that there's one place, a go-to place that people can get help.
Yes.
Wow, that's a dream. Okay, so let's get into these other two facets. Educate. Do you have classes? Do you have cohorts? Is the education online? Tell us what that looks like coming from the Legacy of Hope Foundation.
So what we found is a lot of people came in and we just didn't want to be producers of just food, or clothing. We wanted to help them to get to a better place in life. So financial literacy is one of the things that we do. Home ownership is one of the things that we reproduce. And so we have monthly classes that they can come to and really begin to have an open mind to more of what they can do for themselves and for their families. And so that becomes critical for them to come to a place where they can feel good about their finances, because we found a lot of people just didn't even know about finances. I mean, just the simple literacy, just the simple bank account, savings account, different things like that. But once we started, doing the classes, we found the need for that as well. And then the other facet of that is the home ownership. We want to inspire people to own homes.
Gotcha.
In the community.
And so do people come to classes? Is this like workshops that are happening all the time? Is it like a series that ends, like if you take 8 classes that you'll know how to do? How is it chopped up for us?
So initially it was just chopped up to like monthly workshops. 2024 we're going to begin to do like 6 to 8 week courses for people to actually sit through the whole course so that they can really kind of dig in and kind of work through what they need to know in finances and home ownership. We're also partnering with another organization who will be doing parenting classes starting in 2024 as well, because we found a need for, it's so many little kids that come in that inspired us to expand our programs. We started with the closet and the food, but then when the little ones started coming in, the parents began to say, well, we need something to do with the kids, and how do we inspire the kids? And so we began to do our youth empowerment through that. So we expanded from there to do the youth empowerment and the classes. And that's where the empowerment
I was about to say, that's a perfect segue to empowerment. So talk to us a little bit about the youth empowerment, what kind of things they're learning, how they become empowered.
You're listening to the Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham podcast. I'm the producer, Seko Varner from Positive Vibes. So we would love for you to do a few things. Like this episode. You're going to like it anyway. Share this episode. It's worth sharing. And tell other people about the podcast. Sharing is caring. Let's all get wealthy.
So the Legacy Learning Academy, that's for our youth empowerment. We meet every second and fourth Saturday. The second Saturday is building self-esteem, confidence, courage, and character. We definitely know that we need that in our youth. Conflict resolution, how to love, kindness, different things like that. That's on our second Saturday. On the fourth Saturday, we go into another component of computer classes, entrepreneurship, financial literacy for our youth as well. So that kind of brings them to get into the mind and the emotion, and as well as what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? So kind of planting that seed early, and then how can we give them the tools to be as great as we know they can be?
Wow. So you are really providing a lot to the community. Are those workshops also in that same building there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, so everything is in the same building. We have gone a couple of times out into the community. Marshall Court is one of the places that we actually go. That's in Newport News, and we take our clothing, we take our food, and we take youth empowerment out there as well. So we found that we can reach more kids when we go out into the communities.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then I guess once you go out in the communities, then they become more aware, so then they can come back to you. I can see exactly how that
Yes.
fills out. Wow. Okay. So we went over how you clothe, feed, educate, and empower the community from your headquarters in Newport News and how you're even going out into the neighborhoods. I'm sure after all this, there's folks listening right now on their drive home from church or just cleaning up their living room, and they're completely sold. They're like, I need to help Teresa in this
Yes.
mission. So how do they do that? How do they engage with you? And also, what are you looking for? Is it donations? Is it volunteers? Is it clothes? Is it food? Is it money? Tell us how we can help you help the community.
All of that. So we are looking for people that can, of course, volunteer for any of our programs. We look definitely in the youth area. We definitely need teachers, and we need sponsors for our programs. We want to have a sponsor for every program so that the parents don't have to come out their pockets, like for the Legacy Learning Academy or clothing our kids for school or back to school and all that. So we definitely need sponsors, and we definitely need monetary donations. So the building that we purchased at 239 Buxton Avenue, we had to we're still renovate that space. And so we are looking for donors, contractors, people that can put their hand to the plow, so to speak, and come and help us with the renovations of that. So it's 9,000 square feet. We've renovated about 4,000 square feet of that. And so we still need to renovate the rest. And that's where we'll have our actual classrooms, our designated space for classrooms. Right now, we're kind of sharing one big area to do everything, flipping the room, so to speak. And then, but once we get the money for renovations, then we can have designated classrooms. We can have a designated closet. We do already have a designated kitchen, which is great. So people that want to donate, they can definitely go to our website at thelegacyofhopefoundation.com.
Gotcha. Legacy, tell them that website again so they know where to donate and where to ask how to volunteer.
Thelegacyofhopefoundation.com. So it's the whole thing, thelegacyofhopefoundation.com.
All right. So because this is Black Wall Street today, and there are a lot of entrepreneurs listening, I want to get into some business stuff now. Because honestly, Teresa, you are living a dream. I can't tell you how many nonprofit executive directors or people who want to start nonprofits, and I ask them, okay, tell me where you want this company to go. And they describe something that you currently have. They'll describe, I want one location that people could come and they could get clothes and they could get food and financial literacy. I just want it to be a one-stop shop where I could just help the community. And you have that. So let's talk about how, as a nonprofit executive director, you were able to make that happen for your organization.
I would say lots of prayer in the vision. I believe that it was critical for us to be able to write the vision and make it plain so that people that read it, they can run with it. And once we actually wrote the vision, so we started our church like 12 years ago. And so the vision was always to be community-based, to have that one place where people can actually come and get food and clothing. And so writing that vision and staying with that vision and gathering a team that will help you push that vision is critical for us. And then connecting with people that have the same mindset and then pulling from people that's doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the advantages I think that I had is just I'm looking at other people. I started the nonprofit. I'm thinking everybody's going to be giving to the nonprofit. It's a nonprofit. People are going to pour money into it. But I learned quickly it's crucial to build relationships with people. It's crucial to build relationships with your community, and then marketing, letting people know what you're doing so that they can become a part of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Now, you said it was important to identify your message, to be able to document your message and document your plans. Did you do that is there a team around you? Is there some type of board? Is there staff? Talk to me about your team and staff situation.
So we have a board of directors, of course. 4 people, president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. And then we have great volunteers, and most of them came from our church, just ready to work, put their hands to the plow because they saw the need. I believe when you can tell people and show people the need and what it means to somebody just to give them something that they need and put a smile on their face, it becomes your mission. It becomes your goal. And so my aunt loved to smile, and so part of our vision is providing miles of smiles. We want people to be able to smile. We want to show them the love because it has a great impact on our whole community. And so from the board of directors to our volunteers, we sat down and we just did I didn't really know it was a business plan initially, but I wrote out a plan just to say what we wanted to do, how we wanted to help people, and they kind of said, yeah, we want to help do that. And so that becomes critical. And one of the other things, B-Force was a blessing for me, going through B-Force, because you kept asking, why is that important? Why is that important? Why is that important? So I feel now we're pulling back some layers on some things when we're asking, why we're doing this. What effect is it having on the people? And I believe that when you have that compassion, it pushes you in your passion to do great things in the community.
Wow, that's incredible. You talked about being able to really communicate your message to the community. And I know that some people think like, oh, well, you're helping people, so that sells itself. But it doesn't really. So talk about what you had to learn about messaging and the way you structure your message to make it most effective. Was that surprising that you had to take those steps? And what kind of steps did you take?
It was very surprising. Again, when I thought I started the nonprofit, I'm thinking everybody's going to go put money in it. And, a lot of times, and this is what I thought as well, starting a nonprofit, I'm just going to get grants, and the grants are going to take care of everything. And then soon I found out that every grant is not approved. So one of the things that I had to learn early is to diversify our funding.
That's a huge one right there.
That is huge.
I'm going to underline what she just said for everybody listening. She said, one of the things I had to learn was diversify our funding. That's huge. So if you are running a nonprofit out there right now, you're thinking about running a nonprofit out there, if you only have one idea for funding, or you currently only have one source of funding, that is a possible danger, because if that one piece of funding falls, then everything falls. So I just had to highlight because that you just gave away a gem there.
That is huge. And if I had not done that, we would not be doing what we're doing. So I had to learn how to fundraise. I had to learn how to go out and ask people for money. One of the things I hated to do is ask people for money. But then on the flip side of that, if you don't ask for money, you're not going to help. So I had to learn how to cast a vision and really let people understand what effect it's going to have on one family that gets a meal, right? So I had to take my compassion and try to give it to other people, and then they could see that this is definitely needed. And once I learned that, to diversify this funding, you can't depend on grants. They're not guaranteed. I think I was in several classes, nonprofit classes. They keep banging that in you. Grants are not guaranteed. And so I tell people that grants are not guaranteed. I might write 10 grants. I might get one. So then where is the rest of the money come in? So we learn how to fundraise, and then we learn how to get partners in our community. Like this past Thanksgiving, one of the ladies reached out and she had extra boxes of food. And so she partnered with us to help families get fed. And so that was huge. And so now we're looking for partners. Now that's one of the other things that we want to build upon, and sponsorship. We want to build upon sponsorship. We believe that every program, one of my teachers told me this, should be sponsored. And so those are little nuggets that you get. And as you learn, of course, as you learn this nonprofit world, you're learning that it takes a community to run the nonprofit and to be connected with those who have a heart to serve.
So diversifying the funding, creating partnerships, and make sure you're creating and maintaining relationships, both with potential sponsors and the community that you serve.
Yes.
I hope that the folks out there in Radio Land are taking notes, because this is a nonprofit masterclass. So, okay, you thought that there were going to be grants left and right, and then you realized that not every grant is getting approved. Did you find success in grants, though? And if you did, can you talk about maybe some of the granting organizations that you received grants from?
Yeah, so once I because I wasn't a grant writer, but I wrote. And so I figured that if I could just find the little niche or the wording and get the purpose and then connect with the funders who actually had a heart to do or to fund what we were doing. And so Walmart was one of our first grants. They're kind of not as difficult as some of the other grants. They're community grants. So we started getting funding from Walmart, and that built the courage to, okay, let me apply for something else. And so we began to give gift cards like from Food Line and Target. Those are pretty simple to complete as well. But one of the first grants that we received was from TC Energy. I had never heard of them. I had actually saw somebody had posted their name on Facebook, so I went and I, of course, Googled their name and to see what they were funding, and they were funding what we were doing. And so they gave us our first $5,000 grant. That's the first grant that I wrote that I received. And so, again, I'm thinking, woo, I'm about to get a whole bunch of other grants, but still building those relationships. So through that, Wawa has given us funding. Langley for families have given us funding. So we're still yet building those connections. And one of the good things that when you begin to build these connections, Langley, once we got, I think, a grant from them a couple of times, they actually emailed me and said, listen, we're about to do another grant in September. You might want to apply for this grant. And so I'm like, yes, that's what it's about, building the relationships and then having those organizations that really believe in what you're doing. And they don't have to put their hands to the plow, but we put our hands to the plow and they just give us the funding to do it. So grant writing, I got a couple of books. I went on Amazon and found some grant writing books. I took some grant writing classes. And so I write grants as part of, of being an executive director. I think it's definitely building those relationships and finding the grants that align with your mission. That's another mistake sometimes I think we make is applying for every grant that we see. But you have to actually look to see what they want to fund.
Wow. We're continuing with this masterclass, and I'd just like to highlight a few things that she went over right there. Number one, find grants that align with your mission. Don't find the grant and then try to change your mission or programming to fit that grant to chase the money. Just find the grants that are already aligned with your mission. Another gem that she dropped here, not in the exact words, but just in the description, was don't be afraid of the work. She realized that she was going to have to write grants. What did she do? She took some grant classes. She got some books on grant writing, read the books, took the classes. That is taking the practical steps to gain the skills that you need to grow your company. And that can only be achieved if you are not afraid of the work. Lastly, I want to talk about how difficult or easy it was to form a team. How did you get a president to believe in you, and then a vice president, and then a treasurer, somebody who I assume has some experience with money, get them to believe in you? How did you form the Avengers?
Relationships. And like I said, most of them came from our church, so they already knew the passion that we had for helping people. Some of them just come from, I connected with Volunteer Match, which is a free program that people can apply to volunteer through relationships, through going out to different community events. And again, I go back to casting the vision. And then sometimes everybody is not for your organization. And I mean that they might have the passion to do it, but if they don't have the passion for your vision, then they're not going to be able to actually go out there and represent the organization, because that's what each person needs to be able to do, is to represent the organization that they're volunteering for, basically.
Gotcha. So you had to, what was it like to make sure that those folks were aligned with your vision? Was it an interview process? Was it a bunch of different conversations? Did you already know them, so you kind of understood? What was it like?
So what I had to do is actually do an onboarding class. So I made a PowerPoint of the mission, the vision, and the programs that we wanted to do, the expectations of what we wanted to do, the importance of them building relationships as well, not just me building the relationships. We had a fundraiser charity dinner, and so there was an expectation that every board member would fill a table. You need to go out there and you need to talk to people about the organization that you're volunteering for, and that was critical. I think that helped so much to be able to show them the vision, show them the mission, and have some time set aside to do that, not just in passing, that they can sit down and we can go through a whole presentation of what the Legacy of Hope Foundation is all about, so that when you go out there, you're able to tell everybody what it's about as well.
Wow. So we kind of jumped into a lot of the technicalities of the Legacy of Hope Foundation. Now I want to take us back to the beginning of the Legacy of Hope Foundation. Why? What makes you go from the idea of wanting to help the community to actually putting in all the work, right? Registering with the SEC, a 501c3. It's a lot of work. So why? What was the inspiration, the event, the dream, the thing, the spark that set it off?
Legacy. That was the thing, that the fact that my auntie, my mother, my grandmother all like to help people in their own special way, and I didn't realize that they were doing community work. You know, my grandmother would feed people, my mother would take in homeless people to our house. We'd be like, who is this? But just going through and seeing the need and the smile on people's faces and the fact that we are making a difference in the community. And that will continue to push us to put a smile on somebody's face, because it is so much negativity sometimes going around. There's so much violence in the world. But if we can take a moment and give somebody some hope, put a smile on their face, and allow families to thrive in our community, that's what pushes me every day.
Awesome. And finally, where do you see the Legacy of Hope Foundation going? What does it look like in 3, 5, 8 years?
In 3, 5, 8 years, the Legacy of Hope, we want to have a before and after school program and a daycare. That's our next thing to flow into. What moves us so much is the kids, the youth. How can we help them? How can we give them something to do? How can we keep them productive? How can we keep their minds flowing? And how can we give them an advantage by allowing them to take computer classes, technical classes? How can we give them advantage by even kind of, skipping up a couple of grades? And I didn't know that I was going to get to this in middle school, but we're going to teach it to you in elementary school so that you can have an advantage in the world. So grasping and grabbing our youth at a young age is critical. So that's our next move, is to pay it forward, so to speak, have our before and after school program, daycare center, so that we can pour more positivity into our youth.
Gotcha. And if you want to be a part of that long-term vision, if you want to add to or help build to that long-term vision for an organization that's serving Newport News and Hampton Roads as a whole, then you need to head over to thelegacyofhopefoundation.com. Again, that's the whole phrase, thelegacyoffoundation.com. If you want to join people who are serious about the mission and passionate about helping people, then you too can contribute to a movement that is creating smiles for miles. I love that. Teresa, thank you for joining us today, this morning. Is there anything you want to leave the people with?
Just be nice to people, be kind to people, and help people that you can. And if you do want to join us, just come and visit us. And you can come check us out on Wednesdays from 3 to 5. You just want to stop by to see the facility, see what we're doing. Come on by so we can provide miles of smiles.
Miles of smiles. I love it. Black Wall Street Today is brought to you by Black Brand, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur or even a seasoned entrepreneur, it is your duty to go to www.blackbrand.biz. There, you will find not only the knowledge you need to take your business to the next level, but the resources to move forward in practical steps, and most importantly, a community of like-minded individuals who look like yourself, who are headed to success. So once again, www.blackbrand.biz, and right now you can take advantage of an absolutely free 30-day trial membership, which will give you access to all of our events over that 30 days and access to our online roadmap that will walk you through launching a business. So head to blackbrand.biz so you can be involved today.
This episode was brought to you by Positive Vibes Consulting. That's positivevibesconsulting.com. If you're a business owner and the bank said no, we may have a solution for you. Let's have a conversation. If you're a nonprofit organization, let's strategize and find ways for you to have continuous income while you're searching for donations and pursuing grants. That's positivevibesconsulting.com. A proud member of Black Brand.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWST Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal. Hey, yo, when I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Phenomenal.